Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 10 of the Inexperience Points podcast. My name's Chris, and I'm here with James Jimmy Pap Shepherd to talk about games.
Hello. I've got hiccups.
I know.
Fucking hiccups.
That's why I've had to open, although it was your turn.
Yeah, I'm enraged. I've literally, this started 5 minutes before the podcast, so I'm probably going to be, hiccuping all the way through it. Never mind. We'll do our best, won't we?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Sorry once again that there's been a bit of a gap since the last one. Again, yeah, a bit rubbish.
It's life, isn't it? Life gets in the way. But today is October 6th, so
it is.
That's how relevant it's going to be.
Yeah,
that date. We're working from there.
Quite when you'll be listening to it, I don't know.
I'd guess about 10th.
Yeah, ish, give or take. Okay, we'll dive in, shall we?
Let's do that.
Do you want to start by telling us what you've been playing lately?
Sure. This is probably going to be quite a long one, but there's only one outside of my toilet game. So I finally got round to starting Metal Gear Solid 5.
Super.
After playing around with Ground Zeroes, I took the plunge into the big new one, which I don't. It's hit me quite well because I wasn't overly excited about getting started with it, and I wasn't.
Were you not?
No, not really. I think just because I've had so many other games on the go that I didn't really feel the need to start a new game, although I really enjoyed most of the Metal Gear Solid games. I wasn't in a massive rush to start this, but I did anyway.
That's fair.
Very glad I did, because it's bloody good.
Good. Oh, that's what we like to hear. So, what's bloody good about it?
Well, what we'll say before we get into the bloody good is the start is bloody awful. And
oh dear.
And very fucking slow. So
okay.
That's a warning to anyone who hasn't started it yet. I'd say just put up with the first hour or two. Just tolerate it. Get through it because it's slow.
All right.
Literally, the first part of it is you waking up out of your coma. So you're slowly waking up. So it takes a good while before you even get out of bed. When you do get out of bed, you can't walk. And so you're kind of crawling very slowly and gradually getting your movement back. And it's quite... I won't go into too much about what's going on at the start. It's fair to say quite a lot happens, and it leaves quite a lot of questions. So it's not uninteresting. I had mixed feelings about the start because it's really slow, painfully slow, especially at the start of the mission, if you can call it a mission.
Okay.
But there's also quite a lot of interesting stuff going on. So it's a bit contradictory in that sense. So some of it I was like, oh, this seems interesting. And then other times I was like, this is also slow and frustrating.
Bit of a mixed bag then.
Yeah, certainly straight. So once that first mission's out of the way, it starts picking up. But then it gets bloody hard. So this is quite an unforgiving game. And the missions can be quite long, depending on whether you go straight to the objective or you try and do the extra stuff as well. Because it's all a big open area, so when you go into a mission, you don't have to go straight to the target area. You can go this secret side missions, so you can wander around and check out different things and find different stuff.
Mm.
And so you can end up doing it quite a while, and one small cock-up just ruins everything. If you get spotted and don't manage you get a little reflex period where time slows down when you get spotted, so you could knock them out or kill them or whatever in that small time.
That's cool.
So it gives you a slight chance in that. But if you cock that up, then they start, going on alert and everything. And if you're really going down the stealth route, all your hard work can just go to shit quite easily.
Bloody hell. So is it kind of a situation that you can recover from? Because some stealth games, when you're caught out, that's it, you're absolutely fucked. You want to reload your save and try again, but can you kind of bring it back round?
Well, Kind of. Firstly, there's checkpoints. So if you use your checkpoint, if you choose to go back to a checkpoint, you won't get as good a score at the end. You won't get the bonuses for no retries.
Oh, really?
But sometimes the checkpoint can be a while ago. So sometimes checkpoints are useful, and sometimes you pretty much end up going ages ago, and you think, oh, crap. If you get seen, you can either go all Rambo and just... Like, because I had a tendency to get pissed off if I got seen and started getting shot at. I'd get pissed off and be like, right, fuck you all. And then, like, just get my heavy weapons out and start going out for blood. Whereas before I'd have been, being stealthy. So that's one option. But the other is to run away and hide and wait for things to die down. And I didn't realise, and this is something to be aware of if anyone's listening that haven't played it. I think they're called phantom cigars, and they speed up time. So they're like, I didn't know. Yeah, so you can only use them when it's not in high alert, I think, when you're not in danger. So you can get out of... If you get away during high alert and it starts to die down a bit, then you smoke the cigar and time passes. I don't know how much time passes, hours. And then that way you can go back and it's chilled out a bit. But obviously loads of time... You do fly forward in time, so sometimes during that time, like, optional prisoners can die and stuff. People you'd like to save. So when I first started, I was kind of struggling with it. I wasn't very good at it. Some missions were taking me hours, and then I've gone back since and done a lot more quickly. But like literally taking me hours, cocking up loads, finding restart from a checkpoint and lose loads of time. And so I was kind of half loving it when everything was going right, but when it was going wrong, I was raging. But you've
surprised me. I must admit, I don't know why, but I didn't expect that it would be an overly difficult game. I almost got the impression that this time it was going to be more accessible for the average person.
I'd certainly say it's quite unforgiving. It does seem quite unforgiving. But I'm not sure whether that's more of a beginner thing as well, because I've really started to improve, and even when things cock up, it doesn't seem as big a deal anymore. I think it's just because when I was new to the game, it seemed more of a problem. So I think once you get to grips with things and how it all works, it's not so much of a big deal when you cock up.
So it doesn't hold your hand in the beginning, basically.
I didn't think it did, really. Especially in the earlier missions. Even, like the first one, the first main one, not the kind of prologue mission, but the first main mission. Bit. Yeah, that was... seem to remember finding that quite difficult.
All right.
Mainly because there's a side mission within it that's at some barracks that's really heavily guarded, and I tried to do it and just kept getting seen and shot. So yeah,
it's never a good day when you get shot.
No, I've found that.
Unlucky. But you have got into it now. You're enjoying it.
Oh yeah, I'm well into it. I've pumped well over 20 hours, I think, since I got it.
That's good.
I'm not that far into it, to be honest. It's hitting my OCD levels in the sense that there's loads of reasons to replay every mission. So each mission has a ranking for a start, so you can go back to try and achieve a better rank. But there's also all these... when you first play a mission, there's side objectives, which you don't have to do, but you don't know what they are the first time you play it, but it reveals them after you've completed it. So you kind of know what you're looking for the second time round if you happen to have found it already. It's often things like it's very often about extracting. So extracting a specialist who was at the other side of the map from the main objective and stuff like that.
Cool.
Extracting a highly skilled soldier, and sometimes it's just finding certain materials and stuff like that.
I must admit, I don't think the rank system would appeal to me that much. I don't think I could be arsed with that. I think I'd probably just play through the game myself.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And that's just a personal thing.
I have found that when you replay, getting a really good rank isn't actually too difficult.
Okay.
What I found is if you want to tick all the boxes and get all the objectives, you should do that separate from aiming for the good rank. If you want to get the good rank, just go straight to the main objective as quick as you can. Try and not get seen. Get in, get out ASAP, and you'll probably get an S rank.
Oh, interesting.
But if you fanny around ticking all the extra boxes, that can then it's more difficult that way. So I kind of approach it I do each mission a couple of times, sometimes to get, the first time just to get a grip of what the hell's going on, and then I might play one or two more times, one to get mop up the extra stuff, and two to try and get the S rank. But the extra stuff is usually because you're building your large base and you're trying to recruit soldiers. So a lot of the time it's going back and trying to get the best soldiers for your base, which helps with the likes of your support units and developing weapons and things like that. So a lot of the mechanics are based around that.
Awesome. Very good.
Which the thing I was saying to you earlier, actually, that I really like about this is that it rewards you for not killing. And it reminded me of Batman, where you had to not kill people and there was no reason for it. It didn't make sense. Whereas
sometimes you really just want to slaughter people mercilessly, don't you?
Yeah, well, especially when they've started shooting at you, and that's what I do on Metal Gear most of the time. If I cock up and they start shooting at me, I'll go, well, fuck it, you can have a bullet in your head.
Yeah,
but
that's fair.
Up until that point, I'll try and find the best soldiers to extract for the base, which means you have to knock them out or shoot them with a tranquilizer rather than kill them. So you've got a choice as to, you can go Rambo or you can do it stealthily. There is that choice, but there's reasons to do both or mix them up. So the choice is there, but there's, it rewards you to go stealthily for a good reason, really.
Very good.
So I'm loving that.
Yeah, I'm glad you've been getting on well with it. Good stuff. So you say that's the main thing you've been playing over the last couple of weeks, then?
Yeah, ever since I've played it most nights since I got it, really, for an hour or two at least. I'm very much addicted to it, so just playing that, and obviously toilet game.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll attempt to move on to my games if I can talk straight.
Lovely.
For long enough. We'll give it a go. Lots of hiccups in between, I'm sure. So, I think I'll start it off with a bang by talking about a game which I actually played a little while ago and forgot to say about. This is one I actually played before the last episode and forgot about. I don't know how I forgot about it because it's pretty memorable, as you'll soon discover. So this one is the Sonic Dreams collection. Have you heard of that?
I know of Sonic Dreams.
You're giving me a furrowed brow.
Yeah, well, Sonic games aren't generally very good, are they? I can't...
No,
was Sonic Dreams one of the ones that wasn't supposed to be absolute gash, or was that one of the ones that was reasonably well received? Oh, I'm thinking of Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors was supposed to be alright. Sonic Dreams was shit, wasn't it? Was it? I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know if there is a Sonic Dreams in like a proper game, but this is something a little different, which I'll go into. So this actually isn't made by Sega.
Well, that's probably all right.
Okay. Then. Yeah, exactly. So what this is, it pretends to be a collection of games which were developed for the Dreamcast but never saw the light of day. This is by some kind of indie dev, and it's a free game, so I imagine they just kind of did it for a laugh, really. So it's Sonic games that they've created, which supposedly were what were going to release on the Dreamcast but never did. It's a bit of a random bundle. You download it basically as a zipped folder for your PC. It's on PC. The folder's full of loads of crap, loads of random files and stuff, just like it's a game which has been put together and never really finished. So you open up this folder. There's, some kind of launcher for the main game. It boots up, and there's kind of code that runs down the screen, and it's all trying to be kind of janky and half put together. It then takes you to this menu screen where you can select from several different games. And I know that usually we don't like to spoil games that we talk about on here. We don't usually go for spoilers, do we? But in this case, I don't think I can avoid talking about what happens.
That sounds fair enough.
Yeah. So we start with a Sonic creator where you get to make your own Sonic. Except it's all kind of a broken, glitchy mess. And you just kind of tap around on it and change him into a different colour, give him like a massive head and tiny feet, and just make him look retarded. Take a screenshot, give him a really stupid name. And that's how it all starts off. So you make this character. Doesn't really seem to have any impact on the game, but you make that, save it. You try to upload it to SegaNet. There's an option, upload to SegaNet, and you press that and it says you've not got your network adapter connected, which is quite funny because it's like you're playing on the Dreamcast and it's detected you've not actually connected to the internet.
Yep. So
you do away with that, then quit out onto the menu and start onto the next game, which is Eggman Origins. I think that's what it's called. So what this one is supposedly is a MMO which was never really properly developed by any means. And in fact, you go onto it and it's just a menu screen and it says you're not connected to SegaNet, you can't play it. So you're like, well, this is a bit shit. So you quit out of it.
Wait, sorry, just to go back.
Yeah.
Who released this?
Right, so this is by some random indie developer who just kind of made it as a laugh.
So
does that make sense?
So this isn't actually stuff that was originally getting made?
No, it pretends to be. That's kind of the story of it.
Right, I'm with you. Okay.
So yeah, it's pretending to be some half-finished games. So you next move on to one of the best parts of the package, which is the Sonic movie creator.
Okay.
What this is, it's a series of scenes that kind of get more and more disturbing, where you've got several different kind of characters in the scene and props that you can move about. It's all really janky and badly put together, but on purpose. And you can kind of position the things. You pick up a camcorder and you've got like 6 or 7 seconds to stitch together really ridiculous scenes out of what you can make up on the set. It starts out fairly tame. You've got, I don't know, I think it's a daddy Sonic and a kid Sonic playing ball together, and you can kind of crush them with a car if you like and stuff like that. So that's fair enough. You can do like these horror scenes of crushing Sonic. Then it moves on to prom, and so you've got a few of the hedgehogs at prom. I've never really been a Sonic fan, so I don't know their names, but you've got Sonic and
Tails.
I think Tails might be there, and then some of the female hedgehogs.
There was an Amy.
Amy maybe, and
there was
I don't know.
There was that weird bat with tits. Do you remember her?
Weird bat with tits?
Yeah, there was a weird.
Oh God!
There was a bat character, but with tits.
I don't think I know that one.
She's in quite a few of them, along with. I'm trying to think because I can't remember which game it was she was in, but I played one of them. Obviously, Knuckles, the Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Amy, and the bat, whatever she was called.
Yeah,
but I can't remember many more than that.
So, anyway, it's got a few of the characters, and they're kind of dancing around on this really creepy kind of prom set, but the animation's fucked up. So when you put them together, it just kind of looks like they're humping each other and kind of rolling around on the floor.
No,
so you make these
that's
creepy...
what prom's all about, apparently.
Well, it is, isn't it? And the next level is them all going to the hotel together, and they're just on some kind of bet, like jumping around, and Tails is sat there in the corner all lonely while Sonic's getting it on.
Doesn't surprise me.
Then I think it goes on to a feeding level, which is where it really starts to get weird. Sonic's laid on a bed, and you have to press a button to keep releasing food, and then force feeding him. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm so full, feed me more, and stuff like this. And again, you're kind of videoing it, and then Tails comes out of a cake at the end, which is a bit weird. The next level, you've got Sonic's now got a massive belly because you've force fed it in a kind of weird sexual way.
Yep.
But then that's somehow made him pregnant. So the next one, you're in a hospital and you have to make him give birth and video it. And I can't stop hiccuping. Yeah. So it's a pretty weird game. That's all the movie creation ones I can remember. But the next part of the game is, I think it's called My Roommate Sonic.
Just before we move on to the next bit, did you ever see? Just reminded me saying about the movie. Did you ever see that? I guess it was a fan-made game where Sonic was basically a killer.
No, I don't think I did.
It was this weird dark version of Sonic, not Shadow.
Okay.
Oh, that's another one, Shadow, Dark Sonic.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, there was this kind of version of the game where you'd select all the. I think you played as 3. It might have been Eggman, Tails, and Knuckles, and you had to try and you'd be running in it, and it'd be getting darker, and there'd be this kind of eerie bit style music, and Sonic could murder you. You couldn't win. You just get all the characters getting murdered by Sonic. It was quite weird.
Really?
Yeah, I can't remember what it was called, but I just remember reading about it once, so I looked it up.
There seems to be a lot of weird, like, Sonic fan fiction and tribute games and stuff. And obviously this is kind of the latest offering.
Well, it's not like he's pumping out any decent games to talk about, so they might.
Oh, that's it. Absolutely. So you can't blame them, really. So this, I think, what's the final game in the collection is My Roommate Sonic. You're sat on a sofa next to Sonic, and you're watching a TV show about real hedgehogs. And then you suddenly get a text message, and you look at your phone, and it says, "Have you told him how you feel about him yet?" And you answer yes or no. And so you're having this text conversation while you're sat next to Sonic with someone. And
is this kind of
says,
first person, or?
Yeah, this bit is first person, so you kind of keep looking over at Sonic.
So you can imagine you can imagine you're a hedgehog. You can imagine you're yourself.
Yeah,
you can, you could be male, you could be female. You can really role play with this.
You can. So at one point you get a text saying to look out the window, and so you look over, and there's Dr. Eggman, or whatever his name is, in a window on an apartment to the other side of the street with binoculars, watching you. They're giving you a thumbs up, and he's basically egging you on to hit on Sonic.
So is he the one that texts you?
Yeah.
This sounds excellent.
So he tells you to make a move on him. So you start trying to stroke him, and then Sonic goes a bit mental, and then you tickle his feet, and then I think it turns him on.
Well, he's got big feet, hasn't he? So there might be a lot.
Well, he has.
A lot of nerve endings
there. So you do that, and then he looks at you, and then Eggman tells you to lean in for a kiss. So you do that, but then it all fucks up, and you kind of go into this weird fever dream where you're sucked into his eyeballs, and Eggman says, "Is this what you wanted?" And then you're kind of running around as a Sonic human, and I'm not really sure what the developers were taking while they made this game, but whatever it is, I'd quite like to try it.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like they were either on something, very bored, or on something and horny whilst playing Sonic.
Yeah, it happens, doesn't it?
Oh, we've all been there. We've all been there where you've been horny, but also playing Sonic, and this is what happens. This is the result of it.
So I don't want to spend too much more time on this, but you know, I said about the Eggman Origins game.
That makes me laugh. So Eggman Origins. Yeah. Forget Dragon Age Origins. Forget X-Men Origins. What you need is Eggman. It's all about Origins.
Eggman. So if you delve into the files in the folders, and also you get some hints throughout the game while you're playing some of the other games, you get like a username and password, and then you find a SegaNet app hidden away in the folders, so you can actually boot into SegaNet with a username and password, and when you're connected to that, you can then go back on the game and actually play Eggman Origins.
Oh, excellent.
It's really cool how it's made. It's quite cool. I have to get creative to work out how to get online and access the game. So you do that, and then that's when you find out the point of making that character, because that's your character in the MMO.
Well, the Sonic creator.
Yeah. But all the MMO consists of is this really fucking creepy scene where Eggman's sat in the middle, kind of crying for food, and you run around as this horribly broken animated Sonic, scooping up worms and feeding them to Eggman, and his head kind of goes against physics and just stretches towards you and grabs the worms off you, and he just grows fatter and fatter.
I think whoever made this should probably see a counsellor or something.
Probably.
Like, there's all sorts of weird fetishes going on here.
Definitely. There's a lot of weird stuff. I don't want to dwell on it anymore, but I did have to bring that up.
So I think it's fair to say you've probably played about the same amount of this as I have of Metal Gear.
Oh, almost, yeah. Definitely. Couldn't help myself. Had to put hours and hours into it.
That's MMOs for you, though. You just, you get sucked in. Have you done any raids? Loads of you are feeding Eggman.
Well, you see, it's because it's an unfinished game, and they've not got any of those kind of systems in it yet.
Well, give it time.
Give it time. Hopefully it'll get released one day.
Sega are coming back.
So yeah, Sonic Dreams Collection. It's an experience. I recommend it.
And it's free, so it's value for money.
And it's free.
There you go.
It is.
We'll stick the link in the show notes, eh? Help people out.
No, that is a good idea. I like the idea of that.
Full of them.
Wonderful. I think I've spent so much time talking about that. I'm not even going to mention anything else.
Okay.
I've not actually been playing that much else. So we'll move on, shall we? And I'd like to hear about your toilet game, because this week you had a premium one.
I did.
To play, didn't you?
I did. And do you know what? It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's
not bad. Okay. For
a best part of £5, I can't complain, and I won't complain. I'm not sure it's really for me.
Okay, sure.
It's like you said, it's pretty much a puzzle game. I think, did you describe it as a puzzle platformer?
That's how it kind of came across to me. Yeah, in a way.
I don't think
so. That's what it was like, was it?
Kind of. There's no real platform gaming, but I guess you could say it's similar to a platformer in the sense that how you move. So it's kind of like a grid system. So you're Lara Croft, and you swipe to move between squares. Kind of.
Sure.
It's hard to explain how it is visually. It all looks good, like fine. She is essentially Tomb Raiding, but you swipe to move between places, and it's mainly a puzzle game in the sense that it's mainly about calculating the order in which to do things and timing.
Okay. Right.
And
cool.
To give an example, there's breakable parts on the floor or on walls. So if you're walking or climbing, and you'll go over something once and it will start to crack, and if you go on it again, it breaks. So
right, okay,
it means you can't, certain route, you have to plan out your routes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, you have to be clever with how you approach it, sure.
And there's there's snakes as well, and to kill a snake you have to walk into them either from the side or the back, and then she'll shoot them. But if you walk in front of them, they'll kill you and you have to restart.
Right, makes sense.
And there's javelins where you can kill them from a distance and things like that. So you end up having, and then there's another kind of animal that will follow you around as well once you get near it. So you're essentially just trying to get to the end of each section, but you have to start figuring out the route you're going to take and the order in which you do it in order to overcome the enemies and the obstacles. And it's quite good. Like I'm not really into my puzzle games, and it's not overly hard. I haven't completed it. It seems quite a short game because you can see how long it is from the off. And I think there's 5 chapters now. I'm on chapter 4 or something, but I never.
Oh yeah, you're not doing bad then.
No, but I haven't played it a huge amount, so it is quite short. I wouldn't say I ever got overly addicted to it. I've done little, stints here and there.
Yeah, okay.
On the train, and it's fine. It looks quite nice, and it's just about, as I say, planning how you get from A to B effectively without dying. And if you die, you just restart, or sometimes you just fuck up as well. And you realise you've just basically locked yourself in an area, and then you have to just restart. So,
all right,
yeah, it's a mental game, but I wouldn't say it's overly hard because I'm not really into puzzle games, and I was getting through it all right. But yeah, it's
cool.
It's all right.
Not bad. Glad to hear it. So, I'm guessing it didn't have much in the way of microtransactions, seeing as it was quite expensive to begin with.
No, I think there was something cheeky where you could get a hint, but hints might have cost money. No, that could be totally wrong, so take that with a pinch of salt. But I seem to remember pressing it tried to lead me on to somewhere else to pay money, but I think there's outfits as well. You can buy outfits that
sexy outfits.
I don't know, but I think there was something there where you could buy an outfit. You can unlock some in the game, but you can also buy some extra ones, which I don't know. I think seeing that you can buy stuff was a bit annoying considering the price of the game, but I seem to remember there was stuff you can buy. Okay. But I was obviously never tempted to do any of that.
And it wasn't necessary.
No,
that's
not
the important
not at all.
thing.
No.
Cool.
Sorry, I forgot to say the one last thing that I quite liked as well, that within each puzzle area there's also these hidden jars on the screen that you don't have to go up and physically collect them, you just have to see them and tap them, and they have some extra items in, and that adds quite a nice little extra element to remember because the camera changes as you move from space to space. So if you get so enthralled in what you're trying to achieve, they're easy to miss these little extras, and I quite like that.
Yeah, cool.
But you know how I like collecting things.
Bit of a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, seeing as you had to pay such a substantial sum of money for this one,
I'm still hungry. You're
still hungry?
Yeah. Well, I had to cut down on food after buying that. So
I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Going to make up for it this week with a free-to-play one. How's that sound?
That's music to my ears.
Of course, you do often get what you pay for. So, this one's called Blocky Highway. It looks very generic, very inspired by several different games at once. It kind of looks like a bit like Minecraft.
That's your Blocky for you.
Piss off hiccups. Yeah, bit like Minecraft. Bit like Crossy Road, which was quite a popular free-to-play mobile game.
Is that similar to Frogger?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, it looks like lots of different games in one, but it's actually an endless driver by the looks of it. We'll read some of the blurb if my hiccups allow. Blocky Highway is about racing traffic, avoiding trains, collecting cars, and most importantly, having fun. Crash time. Control your car after the crash. Hit traffic cars for extra score. Gorgeous voxel art graphics. Other shit. How's that sound? I'm giving up because I can't stop fucking hiccuping.
I can't believe you are still hiccuping. I didn't know they lasted this long.
Well, earlier I had them for about 2 hours. Then they went away and I was like, oh, brilliant. That's really lucky that they've gone in time for the podcast. And then they just started up just before.
Full force again.
Great.
Blocky Highway.
So, Blocky Highway.
I will look forward to
free
that.
to play. Give it a go. See how you get on.
I fucking will. And I'll let you know next week.
Please do. Please do.
I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't talking rubbish, so I checked Lara Croft Go. And I pressed a hint. And for $3.99, you get step-by-step solutions to every puzzle.
What? So you pay money to make the game play itself?
Well, obviously I haven't actually paid for it, so I'm guessing it just tells you what to do, or put some sort of I don't know, what's the word? Some sort of hint or track or something showing you where to go and what to do, or either that it just says it in a written form. Either way, it's complete bullshit, because firstly, it ruined the game for you. It's no longer a game. You're just being told what to do.
Yeah.
And secondly, I don't understand why they'd make you pay for that. Some sort of hint system, like the remakes of the Monkey Islands did, that'd make sense. And then if you just keep requesting it could be more and more explicit to help you through to the next bit. But
oh yeah, that's fair enough.
When you've already paid for the
silly
game, like, why did it expect you to pay for solutions to the puzzles? Which I can't see why many people would want. And it's a bit of a piss take. Imagine, well, why the fuck would you just go on the internet if you were stuck and you really wanted to get to the next bit? You just look it up. Like, that's...
It's pretty stupid, because you don't have to buy it, so we're not being forced to pay for it. But the fact it just exists is a bit offensive, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll move on, shall we?
Yeah. So tell me some bollocks. I want to hear about your bollocks.
Okay. So yeah, bargain bin bundle bollocks. If you are a regular listener, you'll know that every week I buy a cheapo bundle of shitty indie games for around the £2 mark. This week I found one which had an interesting mixture of things in there. The one that stood out to me was a game called Frederic, Resurrection of Music.
Okay, so a resurrection of music, interesting. Why that's associated with just one guy called Frederic, I'm looking forward to finding out.
Okay.
Is it Frederic Frederic Mercury?
No, good guess. Good guess. It is in fact Frederic Chopin.
Okay, there we go.
So in the game, obviously Chopin died quite a while ago now.
Did he?
R.I.P. and all that.
When was this? Did we mention it in the news?
No, might have missed that one off, or maybe it was slightly before the podcast started.
Was it? Well, we'll have to mention in today's news to send out our condolences.
Absolutely, but it's all good news because he's resurrected.
Oh, is he? Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll put that in the news as well.
He's brought back from the dead.
What is he? Jesus Christ?
Well, Jesus Christ, but in musician form, I guess.
Right.
I think the resurrection is kind of twofold, because Chopin himself has been resurrected, but it's also the plot is that the music industry is dying. It's becoming soulless, and I can't stop hiccuping.
I think One Direction would have a problem with that comment.
I think One Direction are one of the main reasons for that.
They're the antagonists in the game.
They should be. They weren't, but that's a bit of a missed opportunity now you mention it. We could have had Kanye West in there and all sorts.
Anyway, he's the greatest living rock star, you know.
Oh, he is actually, isn't he? Yeah, sorry, Kanye.
I'm not sure that's official, but he said so.
He said it. I believe him. It's
pretty much gospel.
Right. Okay, so Chopin's back from the dead, and he's here to save the music industry. And it's very tongue in cheek. It's quite a funny game actually. It's all kind of cartoony style, animated, and you basically go around meeting different people, and they're all kind of stereotypes. You've got kind of your, I don't know, like New York gangsters with the gold chains on, and you've got the snooty musician who's full of himself, and got stereotypical Irish people, kind of half racist stereotypes there.
Wait.
Sort of thing.
What's stereotypical about the Irish people?
Well, you know, I don't think they're quite leprechauns, but they're probably almost there.
So they're not just,
you know, that
piss.
sort of thing. Well, I think they might be. They might be.
not just drinking.
So
It's fine, McCormick's an Irish name.
Say again.
It's fine, McCormick's an Irish name.
Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm one with the Irish, kind of.
Go Irish.
I do like
Good
the
one.
Irish accent as well, especially on girls. I like it on guys and girls, but for different reasons. Sorry, I've gone up right on a tangent here.
Our podcast is basically just an hour and a half of going on tangents, really, isn't it?
That's the beauty of it.
If we're honest.
That is the beauty of it. But
so we've got Mr. Chopin, and he's going round. He's got a magic piano that can shrink and get bigger at will, for some reason.
Well, there's a few things in the world that can do that. I didn't realise a piano was one of them.
So he goes around playing piano, and it works like an old school music game. So like your Parappa the Rapper, your Guitaroo Man, which I bloody loved. I don't know if you ever played that.
No.
Guitaroo Man. That was fucking brilliant.
Was it similar to Parappa the Rapper?
Ish, but yeah, you had kind of a magic electric guitar, I guess. So you go around these levels playing music, and they kind of remix versions of Chopin's classics, which is quite nifty, I guess, if you're into that. You've got piano keys at the bottom. I think you've got, I'm trying to remember now, it's either 3 or 4 natural keys, so the white ones, and then 2 or 3 accidental keys, so the black ones. And in time with the music, it's a bit like Guitar Hero. You've got the notes coming down, but it's quite a bit messier than that. This is one of my main faults with it, is that it all feels a bit imprecise, and you're kind of jamming away on it, and you're not sure if you're hitting the notes and all that kind of thing. But that's how it's played. You've got your notes coming down, and you've got to hit the corresponding keys. These are mapped to the keyboard, like different buttons on the keyboard, but that never really feels natural. In fact, the only good way of playing the game I found was to play it on my Windows 8 tablet. Well, it's now Windows 10 tablet, but that's by the by. So you can play it touchscreen and tap the keys that way, and that kind of feels right. It almost feels like it should be a tablet game as opposed to a PC game. But yeah, it's quite a nifty little music game, and I used to like my music games, so it was cool to go back to an old school music game like this that doesn't need any extra peripherals, and kind of got quite funny, catchy music and daft shit going on, funny characters and all that kind of thing. And your main arch nemesis is kind of this producer,
Yep.
Who's kind of buying out all the music.
Is it
with
Simon
cash.
Cowell? Is it a nod? A nod to our Simon?
It's probably partly inspired by him, if I'm honest. Just kind of a music megalomaniac who just goes around buying everything up and killing off music. So you got to put a stop to him.
The EA of the music industry.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't really
Bollocks.
well. It was it wasn't really.
Sounds
bollocks.
like a load of good bollocks.
Definitely.
Because you can have good and bad bollocks, really, can't you?
Yeah. We like good bollocks.
Good
don't we?
bollocks, bad bollocks, and no bollocks.
You definitely don't want the latter.
Well,
Unless you're a female.
yeah, if you're a girl, you probably. Yeah, some dogs do better without any bollocks.
Oh, that's true. Stop peeing everywhere.
Yeah, just generally less aggressive. Probably same.
True.
Probably same if you castrated a guy, to be honest.
I don't fancy trying it. I don't know about you.
Well, just try it on...
For science?
Yeah, just on someone with anger management. Maybe it'd be worth castrating them and seeing if they were less angry.
So yeah, on the topic of castration, Frederic, the Resurrection of Music, pretty good Bollocks game.
Now,
I recommend it.
do you remember Eternal Sonata?
I saw it. I didn't play it. Was it good?
I never played it, but I bought it for a friend. It was supposed to be good, but it was kind of a JRPG mixed with Chopin.
Oh, lovely.
Chopin, however it's pronounced.
Choppin, yeah, Mr. Choppin.
Which, yeah, just reminded me that apparently game
lovely.
developers like making games around Chopin.
Well, one thing I should mention is that playing Frederic has actually changed my life and inspired me.
Is that the butterfly
to
effect?
start? Well, yeah, it's inspired me to start learning piano. I'm not lying in that. Shortly after playing the game, I went for piano lessons and bought a keyboard. And
All based
if I'm
on
honest,
Bundle
it was
Bollocks?
probably nothing. It was probably nothing to do with Frederic, in all honesty. But I'd like to say that it had an impact on that. So now I'm going to become the next Frederic Chopin.
I think you.
Just you wait.
I think you possibly could.
Watch this space. So yeah, a pretty good one this week. I'll try and find a shittier game for next week because we can't have too much good bollocks, can we?
No, too many good bollocks is an issue.
Okay. Well, we'll move on to the news, shall we?
Let's do that.
And we've got a few things to mention this week. Probably helps that it's been a couple of weeks since the last one. So I'll make a start here. I saw the other day that Warner Brothers have announced that Batman Arkham Knight on the PC is re-releasing at the end of this month, at the end of October. So you'll probably remember a few episodes back we were saying about how broken it was.
Yep.
And they're finally only re-releasing it sometime soon, which is pretty incredible because... Well, you bought it on PS4. When did it come out? Can you remember?
Well, I got it
Knight.
for my birthday, so that was July.
Wow.
So it might have come out late June or June time, sometime.
Probably something like that.
I think it was relatively new when I got it. Could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it was too long afterwards. So, yeah, all this time and it's still been a broken mess. What was the best part is that when this was announced... on the Steam forums, Warner Brothers put out a statement saying, "Thank you for all your patience and we're really excited to be re-releasing the game." The forum thread was basically just a cesspool of "fuck you, Warner Brothers," and then ASCII images. You know those old school images you'd make with symbols?
Yeah, where you do like middle finger and stuff.
Yeah, it was basically a forum thread of middle fingers and knobs. It's just cocks and middle fingers in ASCII art, which is pretty fantastic and kind of put across the sentiment from the PC gaming community to Warner Brothers for their shitty game.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Well, my recommendation would be, if you're thinking of buying it, now it's not broken, go buy Metal Gear instead.
Yeah,
because you can choose whether you kill people or not.
Ooh, that's an important difference, isn't it?
Fuck you, Batman. I realise I just don't like Batman as a character.
That's fair.
Just nothing to him, is there? Not like Big Boss. He's got all sorts of shit going on, but he's just some rich guy who's a playboy in the day, and at the night he's got some sort of, I don't know, holier than thou attitude to dealing with criminals.
That sums them up pretty well, I think.
And the game's not that great either.
Ooh, burn.
even when it isn't broken.
Yeah, even when it isn't broken.
So yeah,
wonderful.
There's plenty of sandbox games to choose from. I'd put Witcher and MGS5 over that.
Oh yeah, definitely. So
there we go.
We like a good broken game, which is why it's exciting to see the release of Tony Hawk 5.
What?
Now, Tony Hawk's 5.
Fucking hell.
Did you used to like the Tony Hawk's games?
I did.
I used to love them.
I think
they were great.
I think I can pinpoint where I gave up. I don't think I bought Underground. I certainly played 2 and 3. I don't think I went back to 1 after 2, because 1 doesn't really stand up after you play 2.
No,
if I remember correctly.
I can believe that.
3, I certainly remember getting that for Christmas. Underground.
Overground Wombling 3.
Yeah, that's a good game. I would buy a Wombles game, incidentally, but
I wouldn't. I really wouldn't.
I did like Skate.
To their own.
I moved on to Skate because I know why people because I think because everyone got into skateboarding, didn't they? Especially around the time.
Oh yeah, it was cool at one time, wasn't it? Yeah.
But as fun as Tony Hawk was, it got more and more outrageous. With grinding on. Well, it was always outrageous. Even from the second one, grinding on helicopters, and whereas Skate went down the realistic route, didn't you? You almost had to mimic the kind of movements you'd have to do on your, with the analog sticks, and it was very satisfying. It was a lot harder. It was very difficult to pull things off. So I went down the Skate direction after. Well, I say I went down. I didn't. I've only played one Skate game, I think, but I really liked it.
That's cool.
And I kind of thought I'd never go back to Tony Hawk. I thought because he had that board, didn't he? They developed some sort of peripheral that completely flopped.
Oh God, Tony Hawk ride,
yeah,
shred, ride. I don't know.
There was definitely a ride, but I think there might have been a shred as well. Shred rings a bell.
So that was absolutely dire. That failed miserably. And this new one is absolutely atrocious, apparently. I think it's one of the worst rated games on Metacritic so far for PS4.
Fuck me. Well, I don't know why they keep trying. Like, they had their day. They've obviously... It's not poor Tony's fault. He's just taking the cash, you know what I mean? He's doing the real life skating fine. But you'd think he wouldn't want his name associated with this shit anymore.
No, you wouldn't, would you? The thing is... Basically, Activision are arseholes, and their license was running out very soon, and so they've basically just rushed this shitty game out.
Well, the Tony Hawk license?
Yeah, with Activision.
Right.
So they've rushed this crappy game out before their license expires, and yeah, that's it really. It's terrible.
Is there any shitty peripheral with this
terrible.
one, or is it just...
No, it was meant to be kind of a return to its roots, but it's just a mess by the sounds of it. Just completely broken. That's a shame.
And sorry, what are we talking about? Is this news or releases? Where we at? Well,
a bit of both, I guess, but it's new. It's news. I think we'll just mention one other news thing, and that's something which was announced today. Far Cry, which we're both a bit partial to. Obviously, you've dabbled with number 4. I played through 3, quite liked that. Well, and 1 and 2 as well, to be honest. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, yeah, Far Cry. So a new one's been announced today, Far Cry Primal. Don't know if you've heard of this.
Nope. Fill me in.
It's very...
Primal.
Very stop the press kind of news. So... What this one is, it's a totally new direction. As the name sort of suggests, it's kind of set in the Stone Age, and so you're fighting with like bows and arrows and spears against like woolly mammoths and stuff.
Okay.
And saber-toothed tigers.
And dinosaurs.
No guns.
Were cavemen and dinosaurs in the same era?
I don't think they were, as much as fiction would like to.
Not?
We might have coexisted with some, but not all.
What about Jurassic Park?
well, they had to bring them back, didn't they?
Was Jurassic Park fiction, or was that
documentary, wasn't it? Yeah,
I thought so. Quite a scary one.
I think so. Yeah. Okay.
So you're running around with dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, and cavemen, and
yeah, and it looks pretty sweet.
Right.
Obviously, 3 and maybe 4 as well had kind of the tribal element to the game, didn't they?
Yep.
And the bow and arrow was always quite an important weapon. So with this, they've gone all the way, and I think it's a really good idea because with 3, that was something new for the series, kind of how the game was structured, but then number 4, it looks really good, but it's quite similar to 3.
I would agree with that.
If the number 5 was the same again, it'd start to get too samey.
You start getting in Tony Hawk territory then, don't you?
You would. You don't want a Far Cry 5 that's like your Tony Hawk's 5. No. So, that's cool. We like that. We'll get banging on to releases now, because I can't stop hiccuping. We've just about made it to the end. So, would you like to tell us about what's coming out or what's come out?
Okay, so today...
That'd be nice.
Today we've had... and I don't really know anything about Metal Gear Online.
Okay.
I haven't even got to the point in the game where... So there's... I don't know what mission it is, but you get to a certain point where there's one thing about Metal Gear that I have noticed is that there's a hell of a lot of acronyms. And there's one FOB, which is Forward Operating Base. There's also...
Sure.
To give another example, the ACC, which is, I think, the Air Command Centre, which is just your helicopter, and stuff like that. And you're going through and like, oh, what's that acronym mean? You have to keep looking it up. But yeah, so there's the FOB, which is the Forward Operating Base, and that's where you can start, because you're building up this base as part of the story, I think you can go in and attack other people's bases, try and steal resources. And vice versa.
Invasions kind of thing.
Yeah, basically. And because you're recruiting staff all the time, you can either go in and manage it yourself or try and leave your staff to deal with it. It's kind of a scary principle because I think you can lose, resources and staff and things, but I haven't had that problem yet because I haven't even reached the point where I've got a forward operating base. So, I'm kind of confused about what the whole Metal Gear Online is compared to what it already was. Do you know?
Unfortunately, I don't know a lot. I do know that it's more of a multiplayer focused component. I think it's kind of the invasion system which is already in, but ramped up a lot. There's a lot more to it, and this was something that they needed more time to work on, so they said they'd release it later on. And obviously today's the release date. Now, one thing that is interesting is you were saying about you can lose resources.
Yep.
And you can do, again, with Metal Gear Online, this new component. But what's got people a bit ticked off is that they've announced a insurance policy.
You have to pay for it, do you?
You pay real money so that if someone steals from your base, you don't lose your shit. You get compensated in the game.
Can't you just, not connect to the
deal
internet?
with it?
And so therefore people can't steal your shit.
That's it. You can opt out a lot of the online stuff, but it's just if you want to do it, then it's a fallback. If you're a pussy, okay.
I think
I don't know.
The issue I've got is that we all play games as and when we can. Some people are professional gamers, some people are unemployed. Some people have just had this game longer, played it more, a lot better. Mm-hmm. And to me, to connect to a world of people with all sorts of skill ranges, a lot of the time more skilled and more well-equipped and everything than you, to allow them to raid your base, to me, it doesn't appeal to me at all, because I'm not pretending I'm any good. I'm not pretending I'm some sort of competitor. I like to play as and when I can. And to have people coming in and killing the staff that I've recruited in a single player game and stealing resources that, well, I don't With the staff, I know that. I presume with the resources, if they can steal your resources, it's the stuff that you've got in the single player game. That doesn't sit well with me. It's something I think the online side of it I'd definitely try, but I wouldn't want to be getting on with things and just being attacked all the time and shit like that. Like, it's just
understandable.
Fuck off and leave me to play my game on my own.
Yeah, hermit. Well, you're not going to play that, but someone else might. So that's Metal Gear Online.
And they can get insurance.
Now, what else is out today?
Rock Band.
Do tell us.
Rock Band 4.
Rock Band.
Now, Rock Band 4. I haven't seen a huge amount of it. To me, there doesn't look a huge much different. Like,
I don't think there is. I think it's the same again on the new consoles, pretty much, with new instruments that are very expensive.
Yes. Yeah, I think that sums it up. I'm still going to get it at some point. Certainly not now.
Yeah.
At the current prices. Because I had loads of DLC on the Xbox, and I've now got a PS4 and not an Xbox, so I can't carry that over. That's a bit of an issue for me.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying.
Especially seeing as from the set list I've seen for Rock Band 4, I don't really like it.
No.
So it's a bit of an odd one, because I know I'll get it and I know I'll enjoy it, but it's not ideal because I won't have a load of DLC. I'll either have to buy it again or just do without.
Bit of a pain. Oh well, that's Rock Band 4.
That's out.
Cool.
That's out now.
So, another week, another HD remake, and this week it's Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection, which has 1, 2, and 3 in there for your pleasure. And that comes out on the 9th of October.
Beautiful.
Yeah, move on. That's pretty self-explanatory. What else we got?
Witcher 3, Hearts of Stone.
Yeah, so a common complaint you've probably heard from both of us is that The Witcher 3 is a bit brief.
It's too small.
There's not a lot to it. Yeah, so quite pleased to see that they're expanding the game.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wanted more. I just felt like yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, I don't know how and when I'm ever going to finish that. So,
no.
Yeah, that I'm going to avoid that. But I'm sure, again, as I say, some people can play loads. So,
what may seal the deal for you though is that there's a limited edition of this expansion with real life Gwent cards.
Send me the link. Sold. That is so sold.
Yeah, I'll have to show you that. That might tempt you.
I would play Gwent in real life. I like Gwent.
I'd give it a go. Seems alright. I've only played a couple games so far, but it seems pretty cool. And I'm not usually a fan of card games. Sweet. Finally, we've got the PS Plus games, which I think are out tomorrow. And so by the time you're listening to this, they'll already be out. So hopefully you're enjoying them, or probably not, seeing as they all look a bit shit. What have we got?
Well, Super Meat Boy, I'm getting out. I'd have paid for that.
Fucking Super Meat Boy.
It's so good. It's so many game designers could learn from what they did.
Yeah, they should learn to never make a game that frustrating. That's what they should learn.
It's tough, but do you know what they nailed? And when we were playing that Stuntman Stewart, and one of my biggest complaints was it took about 10 seconds between dying and restarting. Like Super Meat Boy nailed that. You died and you restarted instantly because they knew how much you died.
At least.
But it was perfect. There was no faffing around. It just went straight from death. Like, so even when you died, you'd be straight back into it. And the controls were absolutely perfect. So you never died, and it wasn't through not necessarily a mistake of your own because you had to be so accurate. But it was always because of your controls. You didn't die because of shoddy controls or problems with the game or whatever. It was just you had to nail it.
It was always your fault.
The controls with that are so good. Yeah, they nailed it.
I might give it another go.
Well, it's not free, but you know.
Well, yeah, kind of.
You know
isn't
what I mean?
It, technically,
yeah.
That really pisses some people off when you say, "Look, what's free this month?" and they're like, "It's not free. You have to pay a monthly subscription." Yeah, but yeah, Lovely. Broken Age, that's the next one. So that's a Double Fine game, I think. Looks quite cool. It was a Kickstarter game.
Nothing to do with Broken Sword. Separate, is it?
No, it had nothing to do with Broken Sword. That looks quite cool. That's basically the only one I'm interested in. Because what else have we got? Real enough one-off for us, if you don't mind.
Unmechanical Extended.
It's just a really shit title for a game, isn't it? I mean, who's going to want to play that? Honestly. Does that make you want to play it? Unmechanical Extended.
I just to say something is unmechanical. What does that even mean? Does that mean you're biological?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
You could say anything. Yeah.
Is there anything else that actually looks good?
Kung Fu Rabbit looks good.
Oh, fuck off. This is going to be another one of those months, isn't it? Like where we had Mousecraft, where we get absolute turds. I
don't know any of these. There's a Chariot, a Kickbeat. I don't know them.
Don't have a clue what Kickbeat is. Chariot looks quite good, but that's on PS3. I can't be bothered to play my PS3.
Yeah, fair enough.
But Chariot is some kind of co-op game where you're trying to get a chariot to the end of the level and you've got to work together. That looks quite fun, but I'm not going to play my PS3 again.
No,
really?
No, it's not.
I use it as a Blu-ray player sometimes. Does that count?
Well, it still gets used, so it's...
Yeah.
Right, so this Unmechanical, do you reckon is its name actually Unmechanical Extended, or is this an extended version of the original Unmechanical?
Well, that is a question, isn't it? Let's see, can I find anything out about this one? I don't know.
I'd kind of like to play it just to know what's unmechanical about it.
Yeah, there's one way to find out, isn't there?
Is it the prequel to Mechanical?
Oh god, so many questions which are probably best left unanswered. Well, just having a quick Google, Eurogamer gives it a 6 out of 10. That bodes well.
Yeah, starting strong there. With a mediocre
Oh,
score.
mate, this game looks shit. It's fucking awful. Looks like... it looks a bit like Mousecraft. So that says it all, really.
Right. Sounds worth playing, then.
No, it really isn't. Really isn't. So that can get in the bin. Yeah, not overly excited about this month's selection. But I'd like to play some Broken Age. And I might give Meat Boy another shot, although it'll probably make me scream with rage.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Never mind.
Give it a go. Give it another chance.
Fine. Okay. Well, I've made it to the end of the episode and I'm still hiccuping.
Congratulations.
How's that, eh?
It's quite impressive.
Alright. Shall we wrap this one up?
Yeah, let's do that.
Lovely jubbly. So, thank you for listening, as ever. You've been a superb audience, haven't they?
Yes, you have. Thank you for tolerating us and for tolerating the hiccups and the silly tangents.
Yeah, and the lengthy gap in between episodes. We would like to think we're worth waiting for when we finally arrive. I'm not sure we are, but we do our best, don't we?
Yep, we do.
So, we will bid you farewell, shall we?
Yep. Thank you very much for listening.
Talk to you again soon.
Feel free to leave us a review if you're enjoying the show. We haven't checked if we've had any reviews, so if you left us a review, thank you. But we'll do a shout out next week if we've had any new ones.
Yes.
And yeah.
Keep safe. Live your life to the full. Peace out. Lots of love. Bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
So, we've not done a bonus bit for a little while, have we? I don't think.
No.
Something I wanted to mention this week is that since I've been doing bargain bin bundle bollocks, my Steam account has been getting full of the most almighty shit. What's quite exciting is that I'm now nearing 500 games on my Steam account. Obviously now lots of rubbish amongst all that lot. What this also means is that having them in my library and playing them means that Steam is now tailoring its recommendations accordingly, which has been quite fabulous to see on the storefront. Things like recommended for you and games you might like, and it's just all really pervy anime visual novels. There's one I've downloaded actually because it's free to play. What was it called? It looked quite good. Oh yeah, Seduce Me, the Otome.
Otome? How's that spelled?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
God knows, it's Japanese, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Seduce Me.
Is that?
Have you played it?
No, I think I might have to give it a shot.
It might be that Sonic game again.
Yeah, it sounds a bit like it, doesn't it? My roommate Sonic. What did appeal is that I heard you could be a lesbian in it.
That's always good.
Yeah. So I might have to give that a shot and report back next week.
I always found the best way to play Mass Effect was to be a lesbian shepherd.
Ooh, good call.
The thing is, if you're going to spend that many hours behind a character, you might as well make her attractive if you've got the choice.
Oh yeah. Oh god, sorry, I'm just on my Steam at the moment, and I'm getting some more. This next one, Necopara Volume 1. Right, I'm having to verify my age to have a look at it. That's always a good sign. Make sure that I'm over 18.
I'm always wary with anything with Neko in it.
Oh god, yeah. Right, this looks like some kind of pervy game with cat girls. Like anime cat girls.
So, I'm not overly familiar. Cat girl, is that just a woman with a tail, or is it a woman that looks a bit like a cat, or a cat that looks a bit like a woman?
It's a woman that looks like a cat. They've got the ears, and they've probably got the tail as well.
Oh yeah. No, I know what you mean now. That's another. They've got weird things in anime, haven't they? But they're kind of weird, but they're common. Like the whole tentacle thing is something that shouldn't be common, and is.
No, but it is far more common than it should be.
And there's furries as well, which are an
God.
extension of cat, I guess.
Yeah,
and that shouldn't really be a thing at all, let alone something that isn't that uncommon, as far as I'm aware.
No, I know. What can we say, eh? It's a whole different culture, a whole different world, something that we can probably never understand.
No.
But from what I can gather of this Necopara, it looks like you open a cafe.
Oh, the cat cafe.
Well, pretty much. And then you get some cat girls in a box, and then you're their master. And there's probably lots of really iffy shit going on. So that's that. And this is all the kind of stuff that's bombarding my Steam library now, thanks to Bargain Bin Bundle Bollocks.
No, it's good. You'd never have known about it if you hadn't, bought that bollocks.
It's truly opened my eyes. And I'm still hiccuping.